Oh, what the f?
It's a big, heavy, thick chain. Wind can't move that.
A woman named Morgan lives deep in the isolated stretches of the Appalachian Mountains. Known online for sharing her chilling encounters, she's documented numerous strange happenings. Yet one event continues to repeat itself, an occurrence she can't explain. Time and again, Morgan's cameras have captured the same haunting figure. From afar, it looks exactly like her husband. Same height, same build, but it never faces her. It only stands there, perfectly still, always turned away. But that's not the most unsettling part.
Family's haunted farm. I was gonna come explore with my husband today, but he couldn't get off from work because he's boring, so thought I'd bring you guys.
While filming alone on several occasions, her audio equipment has recorded something far more disturbing, a faint, distant voice softly calling out, "Hey." Locals know this phenomenon as the Appalachian Hey, a sinister mystery said to occur when something in the woods imitates a human voice to draw you in. Mountain folk whisper warnings of mimics, creatures that can take the form and voice of those you love. And for Morgan, those warnings might have already come too late. A hiker and his family were driving through a vast, empty stretch of the Appalachian meadows when they suddenly spotted a woman standing alone in the middle of a desolate field.
I have kids in the car, you better go. I have kids in the car, you better go.
What?
Who is that? Who is that?
They're calling me a damn fucking kid! That's after you.
Jeff's right there, he doing shit.
You're the one to say something about my damn son! And I got all over recording.
She appeared frantic, her body tense, her voice sharp as she began shouting angrily into the open air. Her words made little sense, fragmented and disjointed, as though she were in a heated argument with someone who wasn't there. The hiker kept his distance, watching her from inside the car, uneasy but unwilling to drive off just yet. It was obvious something was terribly wrong. The woman's emotions swung wildly between fear and fury, her voice cracking as she called out names and responded to unseen voices. Each echo of her shouting filled the empty meadow with an unsettling weight. No one could tell what had triggered her outburst, or who, if anyone, she was speaking to. The strange encounter left the family tense and vulnerable, surrounded by nothing but open space. After several unnerving minutes, the woman's rage seemed to fade. Her voice softened, her posture slackened, and she stood silently once more. When the moment finally felt safe, the hiker quietly turned the key, and the car rolled away, leaving the eerie figure behind in the fading light. In June 2020, Jimmy Reynolds noticed a pair of glowing green eyes watching him from the edge of the woods behind his porch. Living deep in the forest, he assumed it was just an animal. But when he took a cautious step forward, the figure darted back into the darkness with unnatural speed.
Oh. See, there it is. Hey. Oh, what the f? You'll see.
Uneasy, Jimmy went back inside, a cold shiver running down his spine. The encounter reminded him of the eerie stories locals often told, whispers of strange beings that roamed the woods after sunset. Later, when he shared the footage online, viewers were quick to offer their own chilling theories. Some claimed the eyes belonged to something far more sinister, a skinwalker perhaps, or a crawler. Jimmy tried to stay rational, telling himself it was only a cat, but deep down, the doubt never really left him. In April 2019, a YouTuber named Jason uploaded a video to his channel, Appy Mountain Trekkers, documenting his solo overnight trip into the mountains. Known for his outdoor adventures, Jason regularly shared videos of hiking, camping, and wilderness survival. This particular trip began uneventfully. His hike up the mountain was calm, and upon reaching his campsite, he filmed himself setting up his tent and building a fire as the sun began to dip behind the trees. As dusk settled, Jason decided to pass the time by carving a wooden spoon. That's when he heard something strange, a distant, unfamiliar noise echoing from higher up the mountain. He brushed it off, assuming it was a bird or small animal, and continued preparing for the night. Around 9 p.m., he shut off his camera and crawled into his tent. Less than an hour later, however, he was jolted awake by a sound unlike anything he'd ever heard before. A deep, guttural call that seemed animalistic but impossible to identify. It came from far away, yet it left him uneasy and alert.
I'm still rattled. I've never heard anything like that in my life. It sounded like a mix between almost like a pig, some kind of, I hate to even say it, but a pig, an ape, and the calls almost sounded like how the velociraptors communicate with each other on Jurassic Park. I've never heard anything like that in my life.
Still shaken, Jason eventually managed to drift back to sleep. But around 1 a.m., he awoke again, this time to the unmistakable sound of something moving outside his tent.
Whatever it is, it's close. You hear that? Whatever it is, it sounded like there was 2 or 3 of them, and it started on the other side of my camp, went around my perimeter.
In the dim glow of his flashlight, the camera briefly captured what appeared to be 1 or 2 sets of glowing eyes near the edge of the campsite. The reflection was a fiery white, consistent with wolves or coyotes. While many animals' eyes reflect light at night, the intensity and height of the glow suggested predators rather than smaller creatures. Considering the late hour and remote location, it was unlikely to be a stray dog. Although coyote and wolf attacks on humans are rare, both species can become aggressive if they feel threatened or are protecting their young. If that were the case, Jason's situation could have turned dangerous quickly. Chillingly, he seemed completely unaware of the eyes watching him as he swept the flashlight across the darkness. After a few tense moments, he returned to his tent and made it through the night unharmed. The next morning, Jason filmed a final update for his viewers before packing up his gear. Strangely, he made no mention of the glowing eyes that his camera had recorded the night before, suggesting he never realized what had been so close. After that video, no further updates were ever posted about the incident. In 2018, a YouTuber named John uploaded a video to his channel Lost Lakes, where he shared his backcountry camping adventures across Canada. The footage was recorded around 3:30 a.m. at a remote site west of Chapeau, Ontario, a place so isolated that, according to John, there was no cell phone signal whatsoever.
Well, I am living every solo camper's nightmare right now. There appears to be an animal of some kind pacing around my tent. It's the middle of the night. And then around 3:30, I started to hear this pacing sound. And 45 minutes later, it's still pacing around out there.
Given the location, deep within what's often called the black bear capital of the world, it's likely that a bear or another large animal was wandering near his tent that night. Though bear attacks on campers are rare, they do happen. Other animals, like moose or wildcats, can also become aggressive if startled or provoked. And a thin nylon tent offers little protection against a furious 600-pound creature. While it's far more common for campers to be disturbed by other people than by wildlife, the heavy footsteps John recorded didn't sound remotely human. To keep calm, He showed his viewers the gear he'd brought for safety: a hatchet, bear spray, and an air horn, essentials for anyone camping that deep in the wilderness. Near the end of the video, John mentioned that his car was parked just outside his campsite, but he'd misplaced his keys, most likely leaving them inside the vehicle. Despite the unnerving sounds circling his tent, he eventually managed to fall asleep and made it through the night unharmed. To this day, he has no idea what was walking around his campsite in the darkness that night. Most campers will admit they fear encountering dangerous people far more than wild animals, and this footage perfectly illustrates why. Love Sundays is a YouTube channel run by a man named Sean, who documents his solo camping adventures across the UK. In a video uploaded in September 2022, he shared what happened one unsettling night while parked on the side of a quiet road in Cornwall. Technically, camping there wasn't allowed due to parking restrictions, so Sean did his best to keep a low profile. Before sunset, he settled into his van, cooked dinner quietly, and avoided drawing attention. Around 9 p.m., he turned off the lights and went to bed, everything seeming perfectly calm. But around 2 a.m., his peaceful night took a chilling turn.
I think they've gone. They literally tried to get in the van. It wasn't just a knocking, they were trying the handle.
It's not unusual for solo campers to be asked to move during the night, especially when parked somewhere they shouldn't be. But this situation felt different. Whoever approached his van didn't knock or announce themselves. Instead, they went straight for the door handle, trying to open it without saying a word. A police officer or local authority would have identified themselves first. This was something else. Sean stayed perfectly still, heart pounding, as the handle rattled again. After a few tense seconds, the intruder gave up and disappeared into the darkness. Thankfully, they didn't return. Though the encounter lasted only moments, it left Sean shaken. The next morning, he woke up safely and continued his journey. But the experience was a haunting reminder that sometimes the most dangerous things in the wild aren't animals, they're people. In 2021, YouTuber Matt Field accepted a daring challenge to spend an entire night alone inside a dark, isolated cave in the Australian wilderness. A friend had previously told him about a disturbing experience there and dared him to see for himself. Matt's channel is known for pushing limits. Unlike most outdoor vloggers, he often ventures far from civilization, surviving solely on what he hunts or catches. For this trip, he didn't even bring water, planning instead to find a source inside the cave. After nearly 4 hours of trekking through the rugged terrain, Matt finally discovered the cave's entrance and descended using an old man-made ladder. Inside, he explored several narrow tunnels and crevices, crawling deeper into the darkness in search of hidden passages. But before long, unsettling sounds began echoing through the cavern, small rocks tumbling near the entrance, followed by the faint crunch of footsteps. Matt mentioned feeling an eerie sensation that he wasn't alone, as if unseen eyes were watching from the shadows. Things escalated around 11 p.m., just as he sat down to eat a can of baked beans for dinner.
That is beautiful. Baked beans in a haunted cave. Oh my God. That was the sound. That is the sound. Did you hear that? Look at my arms. I got full goosebumps. It's the chains moving when I climb down the ladder. It's a big, heavy, thick chain. Wind can't move that. Holy.
His camera captured something strange, a rusted chain hanging from the cave wall slowly swaying back and forth. There was no wind that night, no breeze of any kind. The only explanation was that something, or someone, was moving nearby.
That chain moved just then. It is 100% now. I heard it before. I'm 100% certain it's the chain that I walked in, that you climbed down into this cave on. It's moving. Now, you can't move that chain with wind. It's way too heavy. There is no wind coming in here. There's no wind even for... Holy... Oh my God. Look. You must have heard that just then. Look at my arms, dude. Oh, this is fucked. Okay. Well, I've got my backpack back on and I'm booting on out of here. I just heard a sound. It's not normal. It's definitely not a normal sound and I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably about 2 hours, 2.5 hours after I checked in with you guys, so it would be around 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. And that sound was not normal. I'm getting out of here.
When the noises finally stopped, Matt decided it was too dangerous to remain deep inside, so he moved closer to the entrance and set up there for the night. A few hours later, he began hearing faint hissing sounds that eerily resembled human voices. He searched the area but found no signs of anyone else inside. The thought of encountering a group of people secretly living in the cave crossed his mind. A terrifying possibility, though unlikely. As soon as daylight broke, Matt wasted no time climbing out and leaving the cave behind. Though he made it out safely, he later admitted he never returned and had no plans to ever go back.